What a pity. Really? Okay.
Hi folks, and oh my gosh, folks, it is day one of my around Australia tour. I can't literally believe it. I'm so excited. We're all excited here, including Travel Camel. He's excited too. And what better way to welcome in the journey than it's turkey time. And I don't mean the turkey time your mama was talking about at Thanksgiving. I mean turkey time. So cheers. It is 5 o'clock somewhere in the world. Always remember that. Okay, let's get cooking. Let's get cooking. Let's have some food first. So folks, here we are on the first day of my tour around Australia, and possibly the worst kept secret because, well, I let the cat out of the bag on Twitter a day or so ago. I'm just the worst at keeping secrets, I really am. And so yeah, worst kept secret. So here we are, and I just want to give you a quick rundown, just really try and keep it as linear and concise as I can, because sometimes I can just, oh man, I can ramble on and on if I let myself, so we won't do that. So I just wanted to sort of, okay, so how did I make the decision to get into traveling around Australia? And some of you may or may not know, I'm a returning rider. So how did I get back into riding, and just, yeah, how all this came about and onto YouTube. So firstly, I got back into riding 6 months ago because, I mean, look what happened in 2020. It was a little bit of a disaster. And, you know, it was the right time to get back in. I was wanting to get back into riding for like nearly 10 years. I'd be walking past a bike shop and I'd be like, hello, I want you. And do you know how life gets in the way? That was me. Business, travel, charity, just so many things, family, like just so many things over the last 10 years. And so I'd be walking past bike shops all the time, but I don't know, I just never got around to buying the bike and getting back into it. And so it was last year that I finally, like, gosh, if I don't do this, I never will. I don't know about you, but I know some of you folks here, because you've commented in the comments section, are like, oh, you know, it's been 15, 20 years. Should I get back into it? And I mean, that's always a personal decision for yourself. But for me, it was absolutely the best decision I made. So I went and got a second-hand VTR 250, and the reason I did that was because A, it was dirt cheap, and if I didn't for some reason like motorcycling, no worries, I could sell the bike with not much money down. You know what I mean? So I did that, and I also wanted to see, like, keep my skill in. Now I'm 5'10", so I'm quite a tall lady, but ergonomically I sat on the bike okay, but it was what it was good at. It was nice and light, and I could throw it around the corners, the famous twisties here in Tasmania, and I really got my experience back up and my confidence, of all things, my confidence back up, and it was such the best decision. And like, I know there's some people around that, you know, judge the quality of the rider by how many cc's they got, and that is absolute baloney. Get the bike that you want to get and what you feel comfortable on. So anywho, I got like 10,000 kilometers up in only like 1.5 months. So I was making up for those 22 lost years, and yeah, just one thing led to another. And I will say, so how did I get onto YouTube? So that was a returning ride a bit. How did I get onto the YouTube? Well, my business partner, Peter, is actually a cinematographer by trade. That's not what he does now, but that's what he did in the past. And he actually did television and many different things. So I picked up a lot of tips, and I actually did some filming with him on many different projects over the time. And I'm a self-taught editor, so I learned to edit as I went. Just another skill I learnt. So I was enjoying the bike so much, and I was seeing these amazing women and men on YouTube doing amazing things, traveling the world. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, you folks, because you have so inspired me to, I love cinematography, I love editing, it's a hobby of mine. Now, so putting that with bikes, logical. So 2020 was the year to do that for me, because I pared back on work just a little bit, still working a lot. And then, so my YouTube channel was born 3 months ago. And thank you to all you folks that have subscribed and are on the journey with me. And that was 3 months ago. And then I got to thinking, you know, I don't want to just keep riding around circles here in Tassie. What next? I mean, that's always the perpetual question with me. What next? What next? It's been my whole adult life. What next? What next? I'm just one of those people who will sleep when they're dead. I literally will sleep when I'm dead. I think Bon Jovi, God, I'm giving away, oh my goodness, I'm giving away my age now. Yes, I grew up with Bon Jovi. I love Bon Jovi. So, yep, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Amen, right? You know, bottoms up to that one. So I'm just one of those people. So that's how it all came about. Now let's get on to your questions, because there's some people on my Twitter that had questions about this, and just go over a couple of things. And yeah, let's just dive on right into it. Okay, question 1 from Twitter. How do you have your coffee? Is the coffee plantation in Tamborine Mountain, Queensland on your route? It is now, James. It is now, absolutely. How do I have my coffee? Very, very strong some mornings. Strong enough literally to blow up an elephant. Ooh, that didn't sound right. Very strong. Okay, Catherine Barton from Twitter said, got a blog? No, not yet. But that's not to say I won't have one. Time dependent, but keep an eye on her motorcycleadventures.com. Troop63 on Twitter, excellent. A wee bit of advice: do not camp in the road train parking bays. Find a spot at least a couple of 100 metres away. There are 0 toilets and truck drivers don't walk far. This ain't my first rodeo. Thanks for the advice, but yeah, I done a lot of camping, and I ain't stopping in no trucking parking bay, that's for sure. Well, I'm too classy for that, come on. Okay, Stonegate for me on Twitter said, good for you. Is Australia your home country? Yes, it is. However, my heritage is actually half German, so I'm looking forward. I have been to Germany before, 15 years or so ago, and I plan to return and, yeah, see where my roots are from. Purgatory on Twitter said, watch for emus. Absolutely, I absolutely intend to. Emus are not the brightest species around. They can be a little bit silly and wayward. So yeah, I've had a bit of experience with emus. Okay, I got a couple of questions from two different people, Brian Gully and Stephen Patrick. They were the same sort of questions, so I grouped them together. What about the collie? And also, how big is the support crew and what are their respective roles? So yes, people on Twitter know I've got a rough collie, you know, Lassie, if you know the Lassie movie. I've got Lassie literally, except her name is Bella, and she's my world. And of course I can't just leave my dog behind. That's just irresponsible, and it'd break my heart to do that. Now I do have a company, as I was saying, and I do have a lot of responsibility still, so I can't just, you know, ride off into the sunset and not think of my responsibilities to both my business partner and my doggy. So what's happening is, as with the crew, I've got a great crew, and they've all pitched in. It's like, hey, yeah, I'm going to pitch in and I'm going to drive you 4x4. So they're sort of going to tag team it around Australia, and this is because of the collie, because Bella is my world, and so I'll only be away from her for not more than a few days at a time, and also with the equipment, and also with how I run my company and everything. So yeah, there was a few practicalities. I won't bore you with all the details, but because of those logistical things, that's the reason why. That's the only reason why that I'm doing it that way. Otherwise, of course, I'd just ride off into the sunset, but that's just not practical. So yeah, that answers that question, I hope. Okay, Jim C267 on my Twitter asked, do you have a certain place in Australia that you've not visited yet that you'd like to visit the most? Great question. Oh, yes, there's plenty of places in Australia I haven't visited yet. The Cape York Peninsula, I'm especially looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to visiting my old favourites, Alice Springs, surrounding district, beautiful. Gosh, Esperance. I can't wait to visit Esperance. The white beaches there are meant to be fantastic, in Denmark with the tall trees. Oh my gosh, haven't been there yet, excited to go there. Oh my gosh, yeah, so many places. Okay, Rewild All Golf Courses on Twitter asked me, what type of bike are you going to use? Well, obviously at the moment I've got the Suzuki GS 500, loving Susie K, I call her. I know, naming the bike, but Susie. I love Susie, but Susie is going to be sold when I get to Brisbane. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do the rest of Tasmania that I haven't done yet, and then when I'm going to get on the boat, the Spirit of Tassie obviously, and zip through Victoria and New South Wales, beelining it to Brisbane, because I want to get further up the top end of Australia, because that's obviously the best time to be up there is in the dry season, because in the monsoon season over summer it's sticky and it can flood up there, lots of rain. So do not want to be up there for the monsoon season. So I've got a certain window. So I'm going to be upgrading the motorbike in Brisbane to an adventure bike because obviously I want to go off-road a lot. I want to go through the deserts. As one of the people commented on my YouTube channel here, they said, you're too adventurous, you need an adventure bike. Absolutely, I am an adventurous girl. I've got a couple of bikes in mind, but I'll reveal all when I purchase the bike. Hi Cindy. Cindy on Twitter, my favourite, has said to me, "That's phenomenal. Sidecar for Bella." Cindy, Bella would bark the whole way in the sidecar. It is so not practical. So the support crew situation is going to handle that. So yeah, no, she'd just woof, 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 woof the whole way. No, it wouldn't happen. She would look so adorable with those cute goggles and the hat, right? Oh my gosh, she'd be so cute. But no, she would bark too much. Okay, Tiger and Kitten on Twitter asked me, will you be turning left or right when you leave Melbourne? So much to see out there with lots and lots of nothing too. Yeah, there is. Plus all the bull dust. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having that all through my clothes and gear. Big trip, good luck. We'll be watching your progress. Thank you so much. Will I be turning left or right? I'll be going straight up the Newell Highway to Brisbane, and from there I will be going anti-clockwise around Australia. Kate Smithton from Twitter asked me, am I going to be camping all the time? Pretty much the predominant amount of time I will be camping, simply because I'll be up the top end. It's going to be warm, it's going to be beautiful, and I really quite like camping. However, there will be some times where I will also stay in pubs, hostels, motels, what have you, depending on weather, work commitments, like with the business and that, you know, all that sort of thing. So, but yeah, pretty much predominantly camping. I enjoy it, and also the odd hotel, pub, etc. Tanya Pascal from my Twitter has asked me, what am I going to do in the event of breakdowns? Do I have a plan B? Yes, because I am a pig-headed, very pig-headed person, and I wanted to do my motorcycle adventure my way. And respecting my wishes as an adventurist, that's why the support crew is going to be a few days behind me, because of the practicalities of the dog and running my business. I have to do it that way. It's really kind of my only option. So I get a little bit of my space and a certain autonomy to this trip and flexibility without feeling like I've got people around me. So this is sort of a balance that I've had to do. Joe William Bowles said, don't go to every inch where the dangerous animals are. Oh wait, that would be everywhere. Best wishes and stay safe. Oddly enough, Joe, over the years I've learned that yes, there is a lot of dangerous animals here in Australia, but most of them tend to be the human variety. Ross Hamilton asked me, coming through Canberra, that'll be next year. Jose Velasquez, I think that's how you pronounce your name, so will you ride the horses there? The only horses that I ride, and I used to ride horses in my youth, the only horses that I ride now are the ones that are beneath here. Okay folks, before I sign out on this video, just a question for you. Since I can't, keep calling my camel here Travel Camel, what is a name that I should call Travel Camel? If you have any suggestions on what I should call my little mate here, please put them down below in the comments section, and we will see you on the next video. Okay, see you soon. Bye. Come up with a good name, thank you very much.